Thank you, Madam Speaker. I now call on a gentleman who worked hard to become a member of the Ways and Means Committee, my sister's congressman, the gentleman from New Jersey, Mr. Pascrell.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
For how much time is the gentleman recognized?
For 5 minutes.
The gentleman from New Jersey is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you. You know, the Wall Street Journal accused us of trying to micromanage this war. Well, this president has not listened to the generals, he hasn't listened to the American people, and he hasn't listened to the Iraqi people. He's micromanaged this failure. 4.5 years ago, Madam Speaker, on this floor, I stood in this chamber along with 295 of my colleagues to support the resolution authorizing the president to attack Iraq. I regret that vote deeply. And I told my constituents in my district a year and a half ago that I made a mistake. Down the street, they make no mistakes. They're infallible. I did so because the premise on which we authorized this war was false. The military plan for victory has been weak, and more than 5 years later, this war has made our nation less safe. We stand ready to vote on a different resolution that could take a significant step towards remedying the historic mistake we made in October of 2002. The troop escalation advocated by President Bush will only widen our involvement in this conflict and put more brave American troops in the middle of a vicious civil war. Voting in favor of the president's escalation plan is an historic error, and I stress the historic nature of this debate because I'm a firm believer that history is telling of the future. The history of this war shows that this president can't form the right policy for victory. He should have sent additional troops in 2003 when the generals asked him to do that, when it was possible to restore order in Baghdad, instead of now in 2007 when violence reigns supreme. The history of Iraq shows it has been racked by sectarian ethnic division long before it was even a state, a fact conveniently ignored by this president and his supporters on their march to Baghdad. Remember, Iran and Syria and others are possibly fighting a proxy war by supplying insurgents against an unpopular foreign occupier. The same role that we played in helping the Afghans to fight the Soviets 20 years ago, and we know how that conflict turned out. In history, I see the lessons, Madam Speaker, as I speak today. 280 BC, when King Pyrrhus of Greece defeated the Romans during the Pyrrhic War. His army suffered irreplaceable casualties in battle, and when he was congratulated on his victory, he replied, "Another such victory like that over the Romans, and we are undone." We've heard the word success, we've heard the words victory, so many times that they are now seen as Pyrrhic, empty, fleeting, hollow. The lesson is clear. The president's escalation plan offers an illusion, but only the real hope is that it offers a Pyrrhic victory at best. Our armed forces have been used, abused, refused, and accused. They've overstretched. They're ill-equipped from the very beginning. Don't tell us we don't support the troops when you did not give what they deserved in the field of battle. Our military readiness to fight the ongoing war on terror is now in serious doubt because of this war. Don't question our patriotism. Don't question our support or the American people's. Listen. And by the way, Madam Speaker, have we asked the Iraqis what they feel? Well, 80% of them want us out. Don't they count? Can't we ask and listen to at least the very people whose country we occupy, this sovereign nation? This is unbelievable. It is illusionary at best. And what will we say to these Iraqi people? I want to hear the answer from the other side. What is your answer to them when they say, don't stay here and certainly don't escalate? I ask the loyal opposition to our resolution to tell the American people, how much do the intentions of the Iraqi people really matter to you? The epicenter of our fight against terror is on the border of Afghanistan and Pakistan. Many of us have been there. Many of us have gone there. You've forgotten that part of the country, as so many did not even know on September 11, 2001, where Afghanistan was in the first place. The clear message we send to the Iraqi people and the American people is that we will bring freedom to Iraq, even if it takes the blood of every Iraqi in the lives of more American soldiers. That's not good enough. It's not acceptable. You heard the statistics from speaker after speaker. Previous escalations in this war have not worked. Why will this one work? Our ill-fated presence in Iraq is being used as a propaganda tool for the enemy, Al-Qaeda, and other terrorists worldwide. In the years since 9/11, more terrorists have been created through this president's policies than were captured or killed. There weren't any terrorists in Iraq in 2003, but there are now.
Gentleman's time has
I urge my
expired.
colleagues to support this resolution, Madam
Gentleman's
Speaker.
time
Thank
has
you.
expired.